Did I fix it? I think I fixed it, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, children of all ages. If everything has gone as planned, you should be able to hear me now. It's that camera. That's that light. This light's backwards. There we go. Is that better? Ah, look at that. You can actually see me, and I'm gorgeous. I'm the Old Humble Guy. This is the 250th running of the Old Humble Happy Hour. Mic check is functioning. Camera is functioning. Everything is running optimally. Oh my goodness, 250 episodes. Holy guacamole. And I'm doing a special one tonight. We are going to, I'm here on the restream, which means I can bring up guests and we can do the guest thing and actually have people join the show, which is not something that I typically do. I typically do me and open it up for conversation, and we carry on the conversation through chat. Does it look like I'm centered? I feel like I'm not centered because look, like it doesn't feel like this feels like it would be the center of the screen. Like, anyway, whatever. Maybe I can switch cameras. Maybe if I did switch to the fancy webcam instead of the embedded webcam, would that make a difference? I don't want to overload the circuits here on the computer. Let's see here. And that overloaded the circuit, it would appear. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. If we switch camera, can I switch cameras now? USB cam, Boom. Oh, wow. That is well, I mean, it'll do. It's not bad. It's a little bit brighter. It's more face. That's not great. We're gonna switch back to the other camera. In a webcam, it is. We're gonna stick with this one. I think I like this one a little bit better. It's not quite so in my face. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I am the Old Humble Guy. This is the Old Humble Distilling Channel, the Old Humble Distilling Company's channel. We're broadcasting live from the Pandemic Studio for the 250th happy hour, Old Humble happy hour. And today we are discussing what are we discussing? There's a button I can push that can take away the camera, right? It could be just audio, right? Hide camera. We're discussing what? Nope, not that. That's not what we're discussing. We're discussing that. What happens when rights conflict? How do I get the camera back up? Settings? No. Audio, video. Yeah. Do you do that? Shift 1. Shift. Hang on. I screwed up. What'd I do? Screen share image extra camera. Enable access to camera. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Close that. How did I? Oh, son of a bitch. What did I do? Can I go here? Nope. Guys, I broke it. Let's see here. Show camera. There it is. Found it. There was a button. I'm not familiar with Restream. It has been a long time since I've done this particular format. And Twisted Art Lady, cheers. Welcome to the show. Nope, that's not the button I want to push. Chat is over here on the right side. I am getting familiar with the controls again for the second time. So I promised 3 topics. What's this button here? Can I do that? I think I just pinned a topic. I pinned a I think I pinned the message there. I just pinned the message. Let's make that live because I want to be able to see what's going on over there. Good. Okay. So I promised 3 topics today. We're going to do a whiskey topic, which is tasting notes. We're going to do a big topic, which is what do we do when rights clash? I had this discussion last week. I'm going to pour myself a drink. I am drinking the Old Humble Double Oak Rye. You can drink whatever you want because y'all are grown-ups and I'm not the boss of you, but I would appreciate it if you went and bought a bottle. Thank you for your support. You can find us at oldhumbledistilling.com. And according to the scroll that I'm going to have on the screen in just a second, this one right here, you can, is that one? Nope. What's that say? What did that say? See you in the next stream? No, that's not the one. Welcome to the stream? No, that's not the one. Follow, is that the one? No, that's not the one. Why? What the hell? Captions. Those aren't my captions. Logo overlay. Huh. My assets? Yeah, it should be my assets. If I go to my captions, Q&A, follow, that's not mine. Default captions. There it is. Yeah. Now, if you want to find us, you can find us online. There it is. You can find us online, oldhumbledistilling.com. Our whiskey is priced at very affordable rates. You are welcome to buy it online. Pour yourself a drink. And if you order 2 bottles and use the discount code MAKE-IT2, you get free shipping. So Twisted Art Lady's in the house. Cheers, Twisted Art Lady. It is good to see you, mademoiselle. Cheers. Clink. I also have some gummies over there I'm going to get into tomorrow. No, maybe Thursday. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah, maybe Thursday. I got a date tomorrow. Anyway, so let's get this whiskey topic out of the way. Talk about tasting notes. This was a question that came up on Reddit today. I was browsing through Reddit and I saw this question come up about tasting notes. This was a new whiskey drinker, and the tasting notes didn't make any sense to this chap. He asked the question, what do the tasting notes even mean? I just don't get it. I read the tasting notes, I try the tasting notes, and they just don't make sense to me. And I thought that was a really good and interesting question. No, what kind of gummies? That's a great question. I thought it was an interesting question because because tasting notes are supposed to mean something, right? When you talk about whiskey, when they give you tasting notes that it has a leathery taste to it, or grassy, or oaky, or it has tannins in it, or I mean, it tends to have a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't really mean anything to anyone. You don't know what grass tastes like. You don't know what oaky means. You don't know what earthy is. That doesn't make any sense to normal people. And it always did annoy me, because when I read those tasting notes, it didn't mean anything to me either. And I always found it to be really. If I tell you it tastes like something, you're going to try and find what it tastes like. And then you're going to get really frustrated when you don't get that taste out of what you're tasting. And it can be upsetting. It can be really upsetting, especially for new whiskey people, because they're like, I'm trying to find grassy. I don't know what grassy means. I'm trying to find vanilla. And now if it's real flavors, if it's real, is that better? Yeah, it's a little bit better. Hang on. If it has real meaning, like it tastes like vanilla, it tastes like cherry, it tastes like banana, those are real flavors, and you can identify the real flavors, and you can taste the real flavors. But if they're just like tastes like leather, it tastes like what, like those don't mean anything. And here's the dirty little secret about tasting notes. 1, they're entirely subjective. And 2, they're completely and totally made up. They don't mean anything to most people. Now, if your whiskey tastes like sitting around a campfire and having a great conversation with good friends, that's an experiential flavor. That's a taste that is also a that better? Yeah, that's better. That's a taste that you can connect to a thing. It's a smell, a textile connection. It tastes like you're not going into work tomorrow. It tastes like, I'm not sure this light is actually doing much of anything. There, is that better? Yeah, okay. It kind of lights up back here. Okay, that's good. I can kind of see like there's it kind of offsets some of the shadows. So that's cool. And if I turn it off, it's pretty obvious. See, yeah, it's good to have that light. Anyway, but tasting notes don't typically mean much of anything, which is why I don't generally give tasting notes. If you're going to try my whiskey, I'm going to hand it to you. I'm going to give it to you in a glass. I'm going to hand it to you, and you're going to say, what's it taste like? And I'm going to say, well, taste it. You tell me what it tastes like. I want to know what it tastes like to you. You're the important one. when it comes to tasting notes, because you're the one who has the glass in your hand. You're the one who's going to try and drink it. You're the one who's going to tell me what it tastes like. Let me know. I don't have your tongue. I have my tongue in my mouth, not yours. Ha ha, that's gross. Okay, so that's the whiskey topic. Let's get that out of the way. It's done. That's done. Let's move on with other stuff. It's 30 minutes into the show already. We can talk about the big things now, because we're in a ridiculously stupid season of the year. Well, what season is that, old humble guy? Well, this is the season of the year when the stupid conspiracy theories come out and people start making up nonsensical bullshit about 9/11, about JFK's assassination, they start making up nonsensical bullshit about all kinds of nonsensical bullshit. And it's frustrating when you live in the real world and you interact with these people and you listen to them and you talk to them, and they're just, they look, there was a time when we could entertain conspiracy theories over here in this little section of the world and then go on and live our lives over in this little section of the world. You could think that JFK was it was a conspiracy to kill JFK over here, and then go on over here and live your normal everyday life and not have this affect anything. But now, if you go over here and you're curious about the JFK assassination, or how did flat Earth conspiracy or flat Earth theory come back into prominence, or why on earth would they be hiding a Yeti in the wilderness of the American Northwest, all of a sudden the algorithm thinks that that's your entire personality. And then instead of living your life over here like a normal person, the algorithm says, hey, you think that's a thing? Why don't you find out about this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing? And oh, also, by the way, aliens built the pyramids. And also, oh, by the way, civilization has gone through 3 different waves and has been wiped out every single time. And none of that has any bearing whatsoever on reality. Why did it just get really dark? Why did it just get really dark here? It was just bright just a second ago. Do I need to switch cameras? Let's do that. USB. Click, click. Woof. All right. Angle up. There we go. There. That's almost too bright. Switch back over to the other camera. Are we bright again? Are we bright? Yeah, that's better. It's not better. It'll do. I'll keep it. We're going to stick with this one. Anyway, the algorithm is the thing that governs our news, and it governs our logic sensors. And of course, we're now in a silly season where you have your freedom of speech, but also your rights to privacy and all these other things. And we're in this silly season, and unfortunately, what is happening? Why'd you do that? Go back. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the frame. Y'all can join me. I want y'all to talk. I want to talk about this with y'all. You're welcome to join me. The link is pinned in chat. But we just had a major event happen right in the heart of silly season. We had this dude get shot on camera. We watched it happen. We saw it happen. And now, if you are even remotely interested in anything that happened last week, or anything that happened last week 20-something years ago, well, now you're going to get fed a steady diet of, oh, here's what you saw isn't what you really saw. I didn't really want to talk about conspiracies tonight. I want to talk about when rights clash, because that was a big... Anyway, we were talking about this last week. This is the thing that I was talking about with some other people last week. And the question came up, like, he was exercising First Amendment rights and blah, 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 speaking out in public, da, da, da. He wasn't. But that's another topic entirely. He wasn't really having a discussion. He wasn't really having an open airing of ideas. He wasn't doing any of that. But that's secondary. I asked the question, well, what happens when your Second Amendment right and your First Amendment right clash into each other? What happens? Well, one of those holds supreme, carries the day. One of them holds supreme over the other. And Dustin, one of our regular contributors over here, chat is over here over my right shoulder, by the way. And my screen, at least, is right over here. It's this way, looking at it, it's to my right. It's on stage right, but on the screen here, it's to my left. Anyway, Dustin said, well, the laws are there to protect your rights. Like the Constitution's there to protect your rights. You have a right to bear arms. You have a right to free. You also have a right to be secure in your property. But that means they're supposed to have a warrant when you have search. But if they don't have a warrant, they just want to come and search your property, that what they find isn't going to be allowed in court. But that doesn't mean you get to keep your property. That doesn't mean your property wasn't disturbed. That doesn't mean you have a right to defend yourself with your Second Amendment right against people having an unwarranted search on your property. And it certainly doesn't mean your rights are going to be protected. They're not going to be preserved. They're going to be violated. Your rights are going to be violated. And then after the violation, the courts are going to sort that out and hash it out. You may be made whole if you have the resources to argue that all the way through. So what then are we left with? What happens when your rights clash? What happens when Godzilla on the one side and King Kong on the other side clash into each other? You have a freedom of speech. You're allowed to speak your mind and say what's on your mind. The government can't stop you from doing that. I can, because I'm allowed to walk around with a weapon. Oh, the Second Amendment only gives you the right to bear arms, but it's assumed in the right to bear arms that it's also to use arms against a tyrannical government, against people trying to deprive you of property. That's what the Federalist Papers talked about. Deprivation of property. And we all know what property they were speaking of in the days of the 1780s, don't we? Oh, yes, yeah. We all know what kind of properties we were talking about. It wasn't the real properties that are built upon the land, but rather the human properties that made the buildings upon the land. We all understand how it was. Anyway, I'm not going to shed any tears over the loss of this dude. I saw him as a net negative to the public discourse. I'm not going to shed any tears over it, but it opens up a larger question, I think, because he could have used his enormous talents to advocate for a world where what happened didn't happen. Because we shouldn't live in a world where what happened happened. We shouldn't live in a world where you can be out walking amongst the people and then all of a sudden you're snuffed out. We shouldn't live in a world like that. But he used his enormous talents and tremendous funding to help build a world where that happens. He helped make the circumstance that arose last week inevitable. He helped make and ironically enough, the coverage of his demise was interrupted by a school shooting, because this is America, and not a week goes by where we don't have some kind of bad news, right? It's never too soon, because it's always just about to happen anyway. Twisted, I see your comments. I'm going to post a couple of them up here. A date? I thought you... Okay, where are we at? I'm going to read this. What kind of gummies? I showed the gummies. A date? Yes, I have a date with my lovely wife. That is correct. I do have a date, and I am married. I have a date with my lovely wife. Me and her date? She's a smoke show, and I'm a hell of a catch. Come on now. I can't see these comments. They are too small on my screen. You don't need to read this aloud. You don't love gummies. I prefer to. I prefer the carbonization of certain herbal remedies for my insomnia, my dear. But the thing is, when I ignite the herbal remedy, it tends to create an aromatic presence around me, causing me to have a particular musk about me, making it unwieldy for me to. This is the side with the shadow, making it unwieldy for me to walk amongst my family. All right, I gotta move this light one more time. Turn, turn, turn. I think that will do it. That should cut down the shadow on this side of my face. That's better. Okay, I'm gonna get this shit worked out one of these days. I'll have a regular like lighting rig around my desk here in the pandemic studio. This feels right. This feels right. This one's on me. This one's kind of a little bit further back and kind of angled towards the wall. This one's on the wall. So I got two, and then the problem is I work in this office. So once I'm done streaming, I put the lights away and I do work. I actually do work like for my business in this office. So this stuff doesn't stay up all the time. Anyway, so yeah, I prefer the smoke, but you know I'm getting older. I don't want to stink. The actual, you know, I'm old school like that. The actual bud is preferred, but you know, also it's just cleaner, I guess. I don't know. This is the first time I've actually bought. I'm gonna try some. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's legal in Texas apparently for now, unless Dan Patrick gets his way. But they're cheap too. It's only like $25, cheaper than a bottle of whiskey. Anyway, let's just say, I don't know why, but you feel like your cousin would enjoy the conversation. He's a police officer in Texas. That's an excellent. That's a perfect point. Cops are on the street. Their job is to uphold the law. And if your rights are going to be violated, chances are it's going to be a cop who's violating your rights. They will tell you to put away your camera when you're recording. They will arrest you when you're being rowdy with a group of people. You know, questions about being in a public place and being disorderly when you're just having fun with your friends is where does your free expression become disorderly conduct? Where does your gathering in a group that is protected by the Constitution become an unlawful, disorderly crowd? Search and seizure laws that are carried out by police. Where does that violate the I believe Sixth Amendment, where you're secure in your papers and property? Your right to bear arms gets suspended when you're a felon. You know, you give up certain rights when you commit felony crimes. One of those rights is the rights to bear arms, which at least the homosexuals out there agree that there is some circumstance where some people should not be allowed to have and own and carry firearms. But that's the whole question. Like, where I don't have a right to shoot you. I do not have a right to commit violence against you. But your constitutional rights don't prevent me from doing that. You can't hold up a constitution and defend yourself while you're being beaten by a cop. Because that's where your civil rights tend to be violated, is when you're encountering the police in a normal police function. It's not that they're the bad guys necessarily. There are some bad apples, and then the ones that cover up for and defend the bad apples are also the bad apples. So arguably, there's a significantly more bad apples than not. Because, you know, like, if you know somebody who's doing a thing and you're like, I'm going to turn a blind eye to that, then you're complicit in the action. You know what I mean? You're not without fault. You're not without blame. But that's secondary. That's a whole nother topic. When your rights are being, you can't, taking someone to court and arguing that your rights were violated and being made whole is the opposite of preventing your rights from being violated. Your rights have already been violated. You've taken them to court and you've been made whole. If you get made whole, if you have the resources to take them to court, if you even have the resources to follow through with all that. Because most of us don't have the resources to follow through with that. Most of us just get fucked. And what are we going to do? We're just going to be fucked. That's what we're going to do. You know, you get your house seized because it's associated with a drug deal. And now what are you going to do? Well, you're going to be homeless. That's what you're going to do. Congratulations. Now you're homeless. But hey, your rights were preserved because no court said that they were violated. And take it to the judge. That's what the problem is. Because the laws are supposed to be there to prevent you from wielding your constitutional rights against others. But that doesn't happen. That only happens after the fact. That only comes in after the fact, after you've already done the thing. So now, what do you do? How do you resolve that question? How do you resolve that question? Because inherent in your Second Amendment right is the presumption that you're going to use the firearm that your right to bear is protected by, right? For which your right to bear is protected. That's the proper structure of that sentence there. I mean, the right to bearing arms doesn't protect you. That's not your personal protection, which, by the way, is a modern construct in the last 50 years. Prior to the last 50 years, the notion of personal protection, carrying a firearm for personal protection, was not even conceived of. It was an organized militia. Firearms were protected. Owning firearms was protected in order to have an organized militia, not just so you can protect yourself and your property from, let's face it, minorities. The law was not written to give you the right to shoot people like me. The law was written so that people like me could shoot people that didn't look like me. So let's not have any pretension about that, right? Let's all be on the same page. And if you wish to argue that point with me, the link is in chat, pinned at the top. Feel free. Come on. I'm happy to argue it. I'm happy to make that discussion, because the people who passed those laws didn't not look like me. The people who passed those laws looked like me because they were afraid of people who didn't look like me. So, God, I'm looking at myself and I haven't done one of these in a while. I have a long face. Ooh, damn, I'm handsome, baby. Twisted, you're being very, very engaging, and I appreciate that. Okay, just saying. Feel like my cousin. Yep. Okay. In fairness, I keep it to myself discreet. Always wash your. Oh well, yeah. You always wash your hands. You should wash your hands all the time. I wash my hands probably more than your average person. I'm watching over here on my left shoulder the diagnostics, and it looks like everyone's gone. Where the fuck is everybody? Do we not have any anybody watching the stream? What the fuck? Yeah, I've got people. Okay, it's just not coming up on the analytics. No worries. Okay. Views. Yeah. Okay. We'll keep it with that. Next, my cousin is not an ass. Oh, that's good to know. Okay. Co-guilt. I fully agree. Okay. I don't know what I've lost the thread of your chat, and I'm sorry. Think I look like a typical Texas dude? Okay. I'm down. I'm okay with that, I think. See, I keep the beard trim so it looks relatively thin as far as on the camera, but I keep this a little bit thicker. It's like a dual beard and goatee. Like I could shave the beard off and just have the goatee, but when I look at myself with just a goatee, I look a little bit ridiculous. And this side is a little bit more even. This side's a little bit more even and consistent color-wise. This side, it's a little bit darker up here and a little bit lighter down here. But that's just, I think that's just how my garden grows, if you will. But it does get gray over time. And every time I trim it, I knock off the tops and a little bit of the gray comes through in the bottom. So I do give it a little bit of a rejuvenating color, if you will. But I asked my wife if she'd be okay if I did like just the mustache and the strip down here, or if I did like the anchor where it was just like down here and like the strip in the middle and down here and a little bit up here on top. She's like, absolutely not. I am welcome to do it, but not if I want to come home. So anyway, not an insult. I like how you couch that. Not an insult. Not an insult, but I look like a regular Texas dude. I can look like Texas if I want, but I typically don't. I don't know. I'm not typical. No, you're not typical. You're not a typical person. You're can I move this box around? Replace? What can I replace it with? Huh. I am so unfamiliar with the Restream setup. It has been a while. Can I hide it? Oh, it just goes away. Undo. All right. Why? Well, whatever. I like Restream better. It seems more stable than StreamYard, but I'm really unfamiliar with it. I have lost weight. Golly. I mean, look at my neck. I'm getting skinnier. I mean, I don't feel skinny. I'm still okay. So I'm seeing myself on camera and I'm marveling at what I see. At the beginning of the year, I weighed 268 pounds. I'm like 5'11". I'm average height. I weighed 268 pounds. That's like two people, two chicks. I've dropped 20 pounds. I'm down to 245, between 245 and 250, depending on the day, depending on what I ate last night and how much I drank last night. The goal is to get down to about 220 by the end of the year. But I'm just looking at myself. I'm out running now 3 times a week. This week is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Last week it was Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. But I feel like, I mean, this shirt's still a little bit tight on me. It's a slim cut shirt, so it feels a little bit, it's comfortable up here, but it's a little bit tight down here. But I feel thinner, and I'm looking at myself. It's like I don't have the pudginess on my cheeks. My face is a little bit leaner. It's not round. Maybe it's just the darkness of the beard. But it's I got a little bit less down here. Damn, I look good. I mean, I don't mean to be I mean, I'm a little bit vain, but I don't mean to be vain. I'm being honest. I'm a fucking smoke show. Sorry, guys. Hide your daughters. What's up? Okay, who's here? To be honest, I look thinner. Thank you very much. I feel thinner. You're down 22 pounds since Thanksgiving. Atta girl. Down 22 pounds since Thanksgiving. I am down, let's see here, since the beginning of the year, to 268 down to when I went on that reality show in January. I was probably I was right around 260, between 260 and 268. When I took my official starting weight in the beginning of February, it was 268. So I may have topped a little bit higher than that, to be honest. But I think I kept my fighting weight down below 270. The official weigh-in was 268, and this morning it was at 248. Still below the two. I'm floating in between 245 and 250 right now. But we're jumping back on the keto train. I'm eating berries and nuts and sausage for lunch, eggs and bread for breakfast, or tomorrow morning it'll be eggs and sausage. Boys and girls, I had the best fucking steak tonight. The best. If you know me personally, you go look at my Facebook page. I posted a picture of the steak. It was rare to medium rare, cooked perfectly. Salt and pepper both sides. God. It was an 8-ounce sirloin. Oh, God damn, it was a good steak. 8-ounce sirloin, salt and pepper. Here's the thing about cooking a steak. The way you properly cook the steak, you don't cook it to death, right? You put it in you get the pan hot, and you take your steaks and you put it in the pan. You put a little olive oil in there to give it a little bit of a seasoning, and you put the steak in the pan, and you let the heat do its job. All right? It's going to sear the steak. Your steak's going to stick to the pan right away. Boom. It's going to stick to the pan. But here's what'll happen. As it sears, as it cooks, it's that the surface of your steak is going to caramelize, and then it's going to release from the pan. That's when you know you're done on that side. Take it, flip it. It's ready to go. Flip it, and then give it 3 minutes on the other side, and you've got a perfectly cooked medium rare to medium rare steak. Give it a couple more minutes, just a couple more minutes to get it up to medium rare or medium, and you're done. Salt and pepper that motherfucker. Cooking steak is not hard. It takes 8 minutes, maybe 9. It does not take a whole lot of time. The key is to get the steaks. I don't spend $10 on a steak. I went to a restaurant supply store and got some 8-ounce sirloins for $6. Best damn steaks. The best damn steaks. Who we got here? Unknown error S7A6. Is that really your screen? Unknown error. Cheers, unknown error. Welcome to the party. Cheers. Subscribe before. Hit the like. Hit subscribe before you leave. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm going to have one of these. It says to have one, and then in an hour have another, but I've been drinking a little bit, so I think the compounding effect will be pretty good. It's a sour worm. Do this live. All right. Tell me about it. A destroyed medium rare steak. Oh man. Let me show you. I took a picture. Let me show you. You're on my Facebooks, I think. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. That is absolutely perfect. That is so good. This was the first slice. Look at that. Look at that. Look at how good that is. That is so good. Oh, man. Here's the problem. An 8-ounce steak is just about the perfect amount of steak. Ooh. It's not very sour. The sour worm wasn't very sour. 8-ounce steak is just about the perfect amount of steak. It feeds you, gives you everything you need. But if it's a really, really good steak, you want more steak. But after 8 ounces, you're pretty much full. It's a thick, good cut of steak. You're full. You don't want more. I could probably have eaten 10. But, I was full. I was done. I didn't want to eat more. I was done eating steak. It would just be like, stuffing it down with a little tamping stick. But I really wanted more steak. And that was the problem. I was full, but I wanted more steak. I so wanted more steak. So, I could eat a fucking steak every damn night, to be honest. Absolutely could. Next. I did not baste. This was not a basting steak. I did serve it with a pat of butter on top. I took a pat of butter and put it on top of the steak to serve it. But I didn't baste it. Not at all. It was seared on one side, seared on the other, done. I've seen these videos where they take the stick of butter, and that's fine. That's fine. You can absolutely do that. And I've done it before. But there was no need for that. There is no need for that. Just the basic cook a damn steak. God, it was so good. It was so good. So good. That's your hubs. Well, cheers. Welcome to the party, man. Also, by the way, if anybody wants to join, the link's in chat. We can talk about rights, where rights end. We can talk about whiskey. We can talk about steak. We can talk about cars. I don't care. I want to do a show tonight. And it is, according to my watch, it is 11:30. I'm definitely going to go till midnight. Probably 12:30. I'm going to give it an hour to 2 hours. It's been an hour. It has been an hour. And we can talk about old fashions and why the old fashioned platform is the perfect platform for a cocktail. The most versatile platform for a cocktail. The perfect platform for a cocktail. You can take the basic old fashioned recipe, water, sugar, whiskey, bitters, and modify it to make just about any cocktail you want. The old fashioned platform is a perfect platform. Absolutely perfect platform. Who's that? Who we got there? That's rare. It's on the rare side of medium rare, yeah. But it was, oh my God, it was so perfect. It was so perfect. It was so perfect. It was a little bit more cooked than actually rare. It was a little bit more cooked, but it did have that dark red stripe. In the middle, it was more rare than it was on the outside. But man, I'm telling you, it was perfect. It was absolutely perfect. Yeah. 12 ounces. Oh. I did almost get the 12-ounce steaks. The 12-ounce steaks were $8. These were $6. I did almost get the 12-ounce steaks, but there's like a coating on these worms. It's like on my teeth. Anyway, these are only 0.36 grams. It says one pouch is a serving. It doesn't say how much THC is in them. And I don't have my glasses on, so I can't really read it anyway. Let's see here. Well, those aren't going to do it. Fat, cholesterol, Fat, cholesterol, sodium. Start with one edible, wait 1 hour, then increase dosage if needed. If needed. Okay. Anyway. Wait an hour, my ass. It was only $25 for this pouch. Not a bad deal. Gotta say, not a bad deal. And they don't taste bad. They taste like gummy worms. And there's zero chance that anyone is accidentally giving these out to kids at Halloween. Zero. John Fritz is in the house. Cheers, John. All right. Hang on, I got a gummy worm in my mouth. There. Now I don't. So, John, to recap what we're talking about, since you're new, you just joined us. Well, as far as I know, you just joined us. To recap what we're talking about, we got tasting notes are make-believe and nonsense. But talking about whiskey is less fun than talking over whiskey. Okay. I feel that. Talking about whiskey is less fun than talking over whiskey, as the whiskey cowboy from the Whiskey Six would say, or the bourbon cowboy from the Whiskey Six would say. And I fully and wholeheartedly agree. Concur with vigor. Ooh. All right. I see why we should probably wait an hour. We have talked about how why the old fashioned is the perfect cocktail platform, and what happens when your rights clash. Like my right to be secure in my possessions and the police's right to search my premises with in the course of an ongoing investigation. My right to protect myself from a tyrannical government, and then a tyrannical government's right to seize property with a warrant. What happens? Who wins? Well, obviously, might makes right. Might makes. Just ask the Branch Davidians. We can't because they're all murked. Yeah, you see, that's kind of how it works out, right? Might makes right, and you can take your argument about your rights to the court, but the court can only make you whole after your rights have been violated. They can't prevent those rights from being violated because the courts are a secondary reactionary tool for justice. Anyway, that's the big topic, and I can monologue about that for another 3 or 4 hours, but that's no fucking fun. Nobody wants to talk about that. I will. They're good. I will give it that. They are good. That feels like the second big hit off the bong. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Now, it hits me faster when it is it hits me faster when it's a pipe than it does when it's the gummy. I mean, it's taken probably 30 minutes now, and it's been 2. But yeah, it hits faster with the pipe. But this is a good clean. Yeah, it's a good clean buzz. I'm feeling it. Of course, I've also had 2 glasses of whiskey at this point. So, we're also talking about the. Did I say John? I did. I said John Fritz. We're also talking about the perfect steak because I made. Oh God, I made the perfect steaks today. This one, switch back. If I switch between these, what's that do? This one, that one. What are these two? I'm playing with the controls here on restream because it's been a long time since I've dilly-dallied around. Oh, I could just put y'all on the screen right over here, can't I? Oh, put it back. What's pinned? Show. There you are. All comments. Y'all are on the screen now. Now I don't have to do the whole click the chat overlay thing. I can just leave that there and let y'all talk amongst yourselves. I'll just sit over here and stare at my X-Wing fighter. Got a little rocket down here. Got the Walking Dead series of graphic novels up there. Whiskey stuff over here. Anyway, let y'all talk amongst yourselves. Can I minimize my camera too? Can I do that? Can I just go, oh, what if I did hide camera, keep audio? Would it make, nope, it doesn't make that bigger. Okay. I thought it would make chat just be like the screen. Didn't do it. Didn't do the chat. So when I do restream, here's the difference between restream and OBS. When I'm on OBS, it's, I have control of my cameras and everything, and I can resize everything and move stuff around. I have a little widget where I can bring up the chat. I really didn't have a topic to talk about tonight. 9/11 happened. Charlie was killed by a single dude about 200 yards away. Conspiracies are nonsense. I watched a whole fucking conspiracy video about that, and Jesus Christ, these conspiracy theory people are just nonsense peddlers. I'm going to talk one more moment about the nonsense peddlers when it comes to conspiracy theories. They will openly admit right from jump, I'm not an engineer. I don't know what I'm talking about. And as soon as they finish that first part and start with the but, you can stop listening to them because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I've seen people suggesting that Charlie was wearing body armor, that the bullet came from the other side, not the side that he got. He got hit here, and you can in certain videos you can actually see the one frame with the bullet in it before he gets hit, and it's clearly coming from this side. But these people are like, oh no, it came from the back. He got shot up here and went down this way. Like, yeah, you fucking people. The internet gives you so much access to so much information that is so much garbage. And it just doesn't stop people from being complete duttering idiots. It's frustrating. It's frustrating when you live in reality and you watch people constantly peddling crap and nonsense, and then you stumble across it and you're like, what are they talking about? And then all of a sudden the algorithm thinks that's who you are. That's your entire personality. So aggravating. Like, dear algorithm, I don't need, the long, skinny, I don't need this shit in my life. I really don't. And you need to take that shit back and keep it. Okay. Enough about silly conspiracy theory bullshit nonsense. I don't generally entertain that stuff. I don't generally even give it the time of day. But how much is even in here? What with this being the silly season, it just kind of shows up. I'm counting real quick. I'm going to see how many are in here. I've had 2. It's 2 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 that are in here. I've had 2. God damn. That'll mess me up if I finish those. Okay, they get my seal of approval. Good job. Good job, gummies. You get the seal of approval. And I don't even smell. I don't stink. I don't stink like weed. Twisted, you gonna come join me? Josh, anyone? No obligation, obviously. Oh, you know what? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to listen to y'all. I don't know if I can. I don't know if the speaker is going to work on this at all. Well, if it comes to it, we can try it, and we'll see. If it does, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. No big deal, one way or the other. Because I'm not hearing anything coming out of my computer. Everything is coming through, like I'm talking into my microphone here. I would jump up. If it wasn't restream, I don't know how to set any of that up, and I don't want my cam on. Fair enough. Oh, hey, that's a great way to make it look like I want people to come up, but I don't really want people to come and talk to me. That'd be great. Hey, did I mention I wrote a book? No, I didn't mention that I wrote a book. This is the epic journey of the old humble guy and his search for a perfect pour. This is the proof of the paperback copy of my ebook that I wrote, available on Amazon.com. Just search for the epic journey of the old humble guy and a search for the perfect pour by Joseph Brita. You can just search me and it'll come up. Wrote a book. I have two more pieces to add to it, a foreword and an afterword, that connect the story to the actual founding of the distillery. And then once I finish the foreword and afterword, I'm going to upload those back to the ebook and modify the ebook. And then I'm going to finish the manuscript and have it printed out and have actual paper copies of my book available at the distillery for $5. $5 paperback for $1, 99 cents in ebook form. 99 cents. That's cheaper than the broken keyboard at the Goodyear store or Goodwill store. Macklemore reference for the win. High five. Woo! Yeah. All right. What else is going on in the world? I mean, we're doing some shit, obviously, here at the Old Humble Distilling Company. I do shit all the time. We're working on steak night. That's why I made steaks tonight, because I was actually researching for steak night. But we do steak nights. We have trivia on Thursday. So if you're in town in the Humble area or Houston area, you can come in and enjoy trivia with me. Friday nights are date nights. Saturday nights are your Saturday afternoon hang, where you can just chill and relax and enjoy yourself. Wednesday nights are kind of a wild card. I'm going to bring in some games so that people can play whiskey trivia, cards, and all kinds of other stuff. God, my studio looks good. This is a very comfortable office. I like this office. I don't know if I've ever done a show with CBD, THC in my system. I'm sure I have. I am sure I've done at least one show where I've been blazed. In fact, I know I have. I'm sure I've done one show where I've had a pipe in the background. I did it at, was it this show or was it Bacon's show? It may have, I think it was it was in the winter time when I was doing the build out and I spent the night at the distillery. I think it was. I can't remember, but I'm sure I'm sure I've done it. Look at how skinny I am. God damn, I'm handsome. Next up, other stuff we got going on. We're going to start doing steak nights on Tuesday nights. Not this week, but, well, not this week being now, tonight. Not this week being the next Saturday or Tuesday, which would be the 23rd. Yeah, it'll probably be the 30th of September will be the first steak night at the Old Humble Distilling Company. The first steak night. And here's the thing. I'm not even going to be the one making the steaks. I just like eating them. So that's what my research was. I just ate a damn steak. Because I like eating steaks. And honestly, I don't understand people who don't like eating steaks. I mean, I get it. You're a vegan, you're a vegetarian, you're just generally unpleasant. I get it. You don't like eating steaks because you don't like good things. But I mean, come on. Come on. You telling me that cow died in vain? No. That cow wanted to be eaten. That cow walked into the slaughterhouse. I'm like, have you read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? When they go to the restaurant at the end of the universe, and a cow walks up to Arthur Dent's table and he says, "Can I interest you in a selection of me?" And Arthur Dent is horrified because his food is literally talking to him right there at the table. And Arthur's like, if I could just find the section in here. I have no idea where it's at, to be honest. I just literally grabbed the book and I just started flipping through pages. I've probably read this 10 times. I've almost certainly read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy more times than I've read my Bible. But, to be honest, that just makes me like your average Christian. Because your average Christian has read just about every book more times than they've read their Bible. Zing! Christianity, gotcha. I can say stuff like that because my pastor is not watching. I'm also, for anybody interested in getting married, a licensed minister of the Word in the Internet Church of Jesus Marriages. I'm not sure what the church is called. Internet Church of World something or another. I don't know. But I'm definitely a ordained minister, so I can marry you at the distillery. All you got to do is give me that wedding certificate, and I can sign off on it and send you happy kids on your way. I am going to interview both of y'all separately to make sure that neither one of you is being sex trafficked, because that's a bad thing. We don't want that to happen. And I don't want any child brides or oh wait, there's two people in. Oh, that's just me. Samantha? Who's Samantha? Is that? Hey, I know that person. What's up, homie?
What's up, homie?
I can hear you. Cool.
I figured it out. Look at me.
You turned up. All right, I can hear you. I can hear you loud and clear.
I changed my microphone settings. I'm glad I did because the other one on the test thing was like going really low. So yeah, I did that and I did it right. Not like a newbie. Look at me. Not acting like I'm 49. And getting too old for technology.
Okay, I think you're coming through all the way through on the actual broadcast. I'm going to turn you up a little bit. I'm going to turn me down.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. Okay. Turning you down was a good idea too.
Yeah, I think I was overclocking myself.
It was a little bit loud, yeah. For me on the stream. When I was watching, it was not.
I don't have an audio monitor, so I don't know what I sound like.
Well, on this from the viewer end, you sounded just like normal.
Okay. I think we're all set. I think I've my monitor is my phone.
Well, I'm glad I know now that I can join Restream. I figured that out.
There we go.
I tried one time and I was like, no, I'm too old to be trying to figure out technology.
Yeah, technology's for the kids. But you know, us old people, we can do stuff too. We invented this shit. We're
We
allowed.
did, but I'm getting to where I feel like, oh my god, am I out of touch? What's happening?
And you know, that's another thing that just kind of bugs me. Like when I think about like all the stuff that we had, like you're a little bit younger than me. You're probably 10 years younger than I am, right? And you're
Oh, what?
late
I think
30s.
I'm older than you.
You're in your late 30s, right? Let's go with that as the official story. So you were
Yeah, something like that, y'all. It's
you were a
around.
fully formed person in the 80s and 90s, or at least
I definitely
a fully forming person in the 90s if you weren't already fully formed.
I
And
was
like
legally voting age in the 90s.
we had, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like we were progressively moving towards, like, there wasn't gay marriage, but we were moving towards gay marriage, right?
We were the first generation that was like, y'all, come on, let's stop this dumb.
Right. Yeah, right. We were moving towards,
Everyone
like,
should do what's right
in the
for them.
1960s and 1970s. They made space
Okay, so maybe
for
the boomers
minorities and
did make
women, right?
space for Gen X to be like, all right, let's get loud now.
Yeah, I think
But
it's,
the millennials, dude, the millennials got louder.
well. See, here's the thing, Gen X. We've always been kind of like the overlooked generation. We were the
And
small.
now
We are and always
Gen
have been,
Z, y'all.
but we've been
Gen
the
Z
smallest
is great.
cohort, the smallest generational cohort. We were overshadowed by the boomers, and we were just sitting there waiting for the next people to help us
I
out to
don't
do
think Gen
stuff.
X was overshadowed by anyone. So I'm 1976. I'm Gen X.
Yeah, you're literally. I'm 75.
See,
Like
you are older
we're
than
like
me for a
literally the same
minute.
people.
Yeah, my husband too. He's 76.
I
I'm
probably shouldn't eat
surprised
that
he
thing.
hasn't been in here, but anyway, he's in here now. So
Well, we've got a handful of people watching, according
yeah,
to
we do.
Restream at
What's up,
least.
y'all?
According to Restream, according to YouTube, we don't, but I'm not sure which
Oh, I
analytics.
showed 5 on YouTube.
Yeah, my analytics is showing 4. But you know, whatever. I'm seeing 6
I
on.
also want to clear up something real quick. The last thing that I said in chat, y'all. I was talking about something on topic. Oh no, I'm showing something different.
That
Never
you
mind.
think.
The I stink part.
Yeah, and without context, that's kind of funny.
I actually smell really good
In
for the
fact, I'm
most
going to
part,
pin that
but I
to
stink
the
in a way.
screen
That's all
right
I'm
there.
saying.
In fact, I'm going to switch this around. That way, your
You're
picture
gonna.
is above the comment. That's perfect. I'm going to leave that right where that's at.
Now I'm gonna have to explain that to everyone and tell them that I'm a Texan at the same time, and they know that I'm a Texan.
Let's see if I can caption that. I'm gonna remove this. Let me look. I'm sure there's a way. Like, there's your name. Like, I should be able to rename you.
I
I think.
think you can, or you definitely can
Woof.
in StreamYard.
Yeah. Let's see here. Speed. No, that's the scroll down there
Man,
at the
I'm
bottom.
feeling
I'm
like
not
I
gonna worry
sound
about it.
extremely Texan right now.
Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it.
You'll
I'm just
figure
gonna
it
pin.
out at some point and do be
Yeah,
me.
I'm just
Be
gonna
me
pin the
with someone
comment below your
else. That's
picture.
good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
But you're still gonna be mean to me for now.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna still just a little bit mean.
It's
Um,
alright. It's alright. Because I know God's thinking. So cheers.
anyway, okay. So, what the hell's been going on? Have you started doing art on your channel again?
I haven't on my channel yet, but I am getting into trying to get out in the studio and just
Good.
do things and just feel like get into the making vibe again. So
But you're
yeah.
still making. your
I
art.
am starting to make again.
Okay, because you had a break there for a while.
I had a very long break, yes. And it is happening. I have new friends local to me that have me in my studio, and look, it's happening. And I just did my first ever. Did you see my post about doing my first ever market?
I saw a post about that.
My
That was
vendor
a couple
table.
of weeks ago, right?
My vendor table. No, it was this past weekend.
Oh, then I did not see it. I thought I saw
It's the
something a couple of
first
weeks.
time I've ever been brave enough to show up in public somewhere and set up a whole table with my art on it.
That's dope as
And
hell.
I got to sit there and listen to people. And I was like playing on my phone,
Yeah,
But I got to listen to the whispers.
that's so dope.
Oh my
That's so
God, it
cool.
felt good. I cannot tell you.
Yeah, especially
I cannot
it's
tell you they appreciated my work. It
when
was
they
just
don't know it's you sitting there.
no, they knew it was me sitting there, but they were
Oh, they
whispering.
did.
You know what I mean? And I was not really into what I was doing. I was listening,
Huh?
and they were just most of them appreciating the same paintings.
I can tell you this: when I go out and do my tastings, I'm the guy that makes the whiskey. I go out and do the tastings, and I present my whiskey to people, and I get them to try it, and I
Right.
never tell them that I'm the guy who makes it until the very end because I want to find out. I love getting their honest, unvarnished opinions, blah blah blah, all that shit. Um, and that makes me feel. It makes me feel better about what they tell me they think about the whiskey when they drink it before they know who it is that's giving them the samples. Um, but it's always a good feeling. It's always a good feeling, even when they don't like it. It's a good feeling because if they're decent people, they can at least respect that you made a thing. They're like, yeah, it's not my thing, but good job doing it. Like, hey, thanks, man, appreciate it. When they're trash people, it doesn't really. It also doesn't bother me when they're trash people because they're you know trash people.
I don't really worry about trash people.
Yeah, it's like, no, I'm not worried about you, garbage human. There's some rum over there for you to drink.
Okay,
You,
you tasteless troll. That's
you,
how I would feel.
you,
Like,
you,
move
you
along.
filthy
Scoot.
little trash panda. Go drink your Baileys and get the hell out of here.
I like Bailey's.
I like Baileys too.
I'm a little bit of a trash panda too. I'm not gonna lie.
We all have a little trash pandas.
I definitely do.
There's two trash pandas in everybody, one that is fed and one that is not. And you should probably get both of them removed because the proper number of trash pandas inside of a person is 0. That's how human
I'm
anatomy works.
very heavy leaning on the not fed one.
You know, very what?
Very heavy leaning on the not fed one. That's me. That's my personality. Rah!
Just angry.
Just hangry. Dude, I need a taco.
Tacos would be good right now. I
Always.
can't eat random foods. I have to stick strictly to my 3 meals a day. But my
So
second
you're
meal,
on keto. I feel
I'm
like I
trying to
need to
do
go
keto-ish.
keto. I
Keto,
feel like I need to. If I
yeah.
did, it would flip a switch, I think, and I would just drop
Well,
40 or 50 pounds.
for me personally, my wife calls it keto. Me, I personally, I just call it like eating good foods.
So
Like,
that's what I try to do.
and like, I'm trying to eat more foods that are foods by themselves. Like I'm
Right.
eating very little bread. I'll
Perfect.
eat 2 slices of bread for breakfast, and that's it. Um, but I've also found that bread is boring and dumb and useless, and it's just a delivery device for something that's more interesting.
So what do you eat for breakfast?
3 eggs, 2 pieces of toast. And if I have sausage or some other kind of meat, I'll eat that.
Okay, so do you have a waffle maker?
I do have a waffle maker.
Okay, have you ever heard of a chaffle?
Tell me more. A chaffle?
A chaffle, it's 2 eggs and 2 quarter cups of cheese. So you could use 2 different
Okay.
quarter cups, or you could. So I like to go mozzarella cheddar.
Okay.
I like that cheese pull. Or you could just use a half cup of the same.
So it's like a waffle omelet?
It is an omelet in a waffle maker, yes. And I put spinach in also because spinach.
Yeah, you gotta have a little bit of a.
And when I put it in there, so 2 eggs
Mhm.
beaten, and then mix the cheese and put the cheese. I put ham in too, or you could use bacon or
Okay.
sausage.
And it
So
doesn't
you
have to
can
be
put
cooked
protein
bacon
in
because
too.
the bacon will cook in the
I
waffle
do a
maker.
1/4 cup roll on everything.
Okay.
So 2 eggs, a quarter cup on cheese,
Hmm.
a 1/4 cup of protein, a 1/4 cup of spinach, because you're putting a superfood into your breakfast without almost any flavor
Yeah.
with spinach. So do that. And you just put it in the waffle maker, and then I do salt, pepper, onion powder, and close it
Huh.
and toast it up to however much you want the cheese. So my one son likes it kind of softer. I like the cheese nice and toasty.
And this does not stick to the waffle maker.
It does not, but I
Okay.
spray the waffle maker too.
Okay. Got it.
So it's 0 carb, high protein breakfast.
Does it work in a toaster?
I use a waffle maker. That's a chaffle.
Okay.
You have to use the chaffle belongs in the waffle maker. But just
It,
saying, if you
it
have a
would not
waffle
work in a
maker, do
toaster.
try it, because you could do all the prep and then pump out like 4 or 5
Yeah.
in no time. Trust me,
And
because
put
I
in a
do.
little Ziploc baggie and just heat
My
them up
whole family
tomorrow.
makes these. We make them all the time.
Huh. So
So
eggs,
whatever protein. So yes, two
eggs,
eggs,
cheese,
two
meat.
1/4 cups of cheese, a 1/4 cup of meat,
Right. Eggs,
a
cheese,
quarter
meat,
cup
and
of
spinach.
spinach. Yes,
Hmm.
and then season it and then close it.
And you season it with garlic salt. We've got that red salt, Tony Chachery stuff.
You could use
That's
Tony's, that
usually
would be
that's
really
usually
good.
what I hit my eggs with in the morning.
Tony's would be really good. Maybe just a tiny pinch of extra salt.
Mm.
I use salt, pepper, and onion powder, and then I'll close it.
Yeah.
I think the onion is good. I just don't want to dice the onion in the morning, and I think it's full enough.
Yeah, I don't like onions. I'm one of the
My
weird
family loves these.
I'm one of the weird people in the world that doesn't like onions. I don't like having them.
Oh, I love onions. I
Yeah.
love onions.
Yeah, they have a. Uh, I think one time I had onions in a burrito and it gave me I think it was an
So,
unrelated stomach thing, and I've ever since then associated the stomach thing with the onions.
my 3 offspring also don't love onions, but if you saute them, they're like, that's dope.
Oh yeah, I mean that's how they're supposed to
They
be done.
don't like the raw onion.
Yeah, you saute them down to almost nothing, and then they're that
So
the
my
onion
oldest
flavor.
though, my oldest is a chef, and nope, can't do it. If the
Huh.
texture of the onion is in there, you can f off. So we have to blitz it in a blender.
Hmm.
Still,
And
a
turn it
chef
into onion powder.
needs to blitz it in a blender.
Interesting.
They love the flavor. They don't like the texture.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't even like. I mean, there's nothing about an onion that I like. My
Oh,
I just don't like them. I mean, I guess the flavor: onion powder, onion
so what
salt,
about
onion.
salsa?
Huh?
What about salsa?
Oh, I like salsa, and I know there's onions in salsa, but I kind of eat around.
There
Yeah,
is onion in
you
salsa.
take you take a big scoop, and then you can't like you don't get the onions are in there, but you don't get the onion.
As
You
long
take
as they're
a
extremely
big scoop
cooked
and you get a
or
whole.
extremely blitzed away, right?
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
going to have a problem with it. All right, cool.
It's
So I'm
like
going
if you bury it in there far enough, and I won't even know it's there.
when I come
Because
down
like
here,
I
I'll
said,
bring you some salsa.
I associated the stomach thing. Like I got really sick, and it was. I mean, it was just a day, and I'm like, crap. I'm like fountain, but I associated that with the onions because I was pissed off that there was onions in my burrito because they weren't supposed to have onions in my burrito. And they screwed it up. This was
Right.
a Taco Bell bean burrito, and
So
they had
see,
onions
I
in it.
get that.
And I
I'm
was
like
pissed
that
off.
raw tomatoes in my food, I'm mad at you.
Now there you go. And see, I'll eat a raw tomato like an apple. I love
No,
raw
not
tomatoes.
me. Cook it and I'll eat it. I'm happy.
I would go out to my garden, pick a tomato, and like cut it
Now,
into
see, when I was a
wedges.
kid, I did that.
Oh,
I grew up on a farm in Texas. I did that. We ate tomatoes like apples.
right off the vine.
Right off the vine. Right off. My parents would pick them mostly green where they're starting to just turn, and they would pick them and put them on a table
Mhm.
and put a salt shaker on the table.
Salted.
Yeah,
Salted
buddy.
tomatoes. So good.
Yeah, buddy. And we ate them like apples. That was my childhood. Yeah.
So good. God damn.
Yes.
Anyway, good stuff. Good
I
stuff.
was Northeast Texas though.
Northeast, like
Longview.
Longview. Okay. Yeah, I was thinking of that area. The
Yeah.
first thing that came to my mind when I thought of Northeast Texas was Shreveport. I'm like, that's not. That's the wrong
That's a
state.
whole different state.
It's very east Texas, very east. Wrong
Yeah.
state.
Very close. So if you want to go to the casino and you live in Longview, I mean, nothing.
Because whenever I go to Northeast Texas, it's when I'm taking a right turn and going to Shreveport.
Right, I bet.
The only reason to go to Northeast Texas. Although I did have a job interview in Longview right after college. I went and interviewed at the public TV station in Longview for a job for their station manager position. I did get it, obviously. But
When was that?
1998, summer of 98, I think.
I was not living down there at that time. I was in Dallas.
It might have been late spring 98. Because it was towards the end of my senior year. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
in
a
98, I
film
was
on
in
my
Fort
teeth
Worth.
from these gummies. They're like a film.
It's you know what that film is, right? It's resin.
Yeah. It feels weird. There wouldn't be resin in a gummy.
Yeah, there is.
The resin is in the residue from the pipe, isn't it?
Okay, but there's resin in the food too. Like there's resin. Trust
Okay.
me.
If you say so.
My experience with gummies, the resin is what ruined it for me.
I'm not sure.
It coats your mouth and it makes it like long last over and over and over. It keeps hitting you.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that.
It's not for me.
I
like the quick hit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the quick vibe.
Yeah, it goes right in with the smoke.
And it's gone in 2 hours. So if you eat it.
So this is gonna linger. Well, I'm gonna go to bed in 2 hours, so I don't really give a shit if I stay high.
It is gonna linger.
So when I wake up though, it'll be done though, right?
It will, and you'll probably have a great dream.
Oh, awesome. Cool. That's what I need.
When you finally fall asleep,
I haven't slept very well the last 3 days.
Good. You'll probably sleep really good when you do fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, I'm only going to do this. Well, I guess I can do this till about 1 o'clock now, since you're here.
How much did you eat?
This is 36 or 0.36 grams. 36 grams.
0.36.
It says net weight 36 grams.
Oh man.
And I had 3 of the 5. So.
Have you eaten that before?
Have I eaten? Yeah, I've eaten.
No, have you eaten that before? Have you eaten that specific thing?
Oh. No, I haven't. Not these. I've had gummies before, but it's been a while. I usually do the pipes.
The vapes?
No, the actual lighter.
The flower.
Yeah. They call it, that's what they were calling them in the shop, flower. Like, I've never called these things, it's bud or
It is flower. It's bud. Bud is flower.
Yeah,
bud
but they call it flower. Like, I've never heard it referred to that. as that. I've heard it referred as bud, herb, green, grass, weed, not flower. Flower is like y'all are trying to be fancy.
No, I mean maybe they are.
Have you had
Maybe.
my flower? No, darling. What the fuck are you even talking about? This, no. Also, no. No, madam, I haven't had your flower. Jeez, why are you
Oh
trying to wave that thing
no!
around? Put your pants on. Um,
Put that away.
anyway, um, but yeah, it feels fine. It feels all right. I'm okay with it. It's kind of giving me
Okay,
a
it's just
low.
not me. A lot of people love it. It's not me.
No, it's kind of giving me a low, steady hum. Where with the pipe, it can go. You go through the bowl, and it's a live wire by the end of it, where it's a loud hum. You're like, but this is
I
kind
don't
of
know what
a
you mean with the hum, but look, that's how
kind
it
of a
hits you, right?
steady.
That's how it hits you,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's a little bit. I mean, I know it's different for everybody, but this feels like it's just a
It
steady,
really
like
is.
a steady buzz. Like I've had two drinks. I'm working on my third. I'm actually working on my third cocktail, but it feels like it feels like right when you're on the cusp of being drunk. Like I'm not blitzed. I just feel like really good.
You're never going to be blitzed with that, though.
Oh, gummies
You're
won't make you
never
blitz.
going to
Right.
be. I mean, you're going to be blitzed off your ass more than you will with smoking, but, you know.
Really? Because when I've smoked
Oh,
it,
yeah, in my
Royal
opinion,
Rumble Distilling Company talks weed. Like
smoking is
pipe,
easier.
I've hit the pipe, and I've just been like, just like everything is sepia toned, and I'm ready to take a fucking nap. I'm just
Oh,
I get to the end of the pipe, and I'm just done. I'm ready to just lay down and let the ground absorb me into it. It
no, I mean,
was,
maybe I'm just used to it.
yeah. I mean, if I go through the whole bowl,
I've
if you drink a whole
never
bottle of
smoked
whiskey, you're
that
gonna
much.
be
I never do. I never do.
yeah. If you drink a whole bottle of whiskey all at once, you're gonna be pretty fucked up. I mean,
I bet you will.
I'm talking like when I sit down with the bowl, I smoke a whole bowl, and I like,
That's too much.
like my skin just feels like it's not there anymore, and I could just like meld with my surrounding environment. It's a
Well,
so,
you're not supposed
so
to
what
do
you're saying
that.
is
I
you're
mean,
not going to
some
get Pink
people
Floyd
do.
stoned,
I
right?
mean, sometimes when I'm with other people, maybe, but not by myself
Well,
usually.
I'm just wondering how many gummies do you have to eat to be like one with the environment type of stoned?
No.
I guess this is an experiment that I'm going to have to, for science, figure out.
Right. Just check every night. Do just a little more.
Yeah, yeah, because I know
Just a
what
little more.
I know the herb is a lot. It feels like it's a lot cheaper because I got a lot more flour. Last time I bought anything than I did with $25 worth of gummies. Like
I bet.
this
But
was
you're paying for someone's time too when you're paying for the gummies.
well,
They
sure,
have to
but
do more
this was
to it
twenty
than
five
it costs.
dollars, and I got for like $25. I got like about that much. If you put it all in this glass, it would have been about that much ish. Yeah, almost half of this.
Maybe you
Uh,
weren't.
and those gummies do not fill up half of this cup. Maybe it was a friend and family price
I need to come visit you.
because the total I bought was was like $100, and it was like 2 solo cups of weed. Way more than I thought it would be.
You what?
It was way
For
more than I thought it
100?
would be. Yeah, it was way more. It was like 2 like 9-ounce solo cups, and
Wow,
I was like,
you might be getting a
damn,
good deal actually.
this stuff is a lot cheaper than it was when I was in college.
Oh no, when I was young, it was a lot cheaper.
But yeah, it actually was a lot cheaper when I was in college because, he explained to me what he did. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Back in the like era,
Mm-hmm.
a quarter was $25, and it was stink shit.
Uh,
I'm saying things maybe I shouldn't. I'm
I
sorry.
wasn't really a connoisseur back in the day. I just got what I could. It's like when I
Oh,
was smoking cigars
shit.
now. I was talking to one of my cigar guys, and she was like, What kind of cigars do you like? You like the?" And then she rattles off like 4 different types. I'm like, I don't know what any of those words just meant.
I don't know what that
I like
is.
the ones that are kind of like that, and they're kind of like that. That's pretty much what I like. She's
Right.
like, oh, I got those. I'm like, okay. Ah,
Yeah, I remember the old days of the
on
green.
my desk. There we go. I have this corncob pipe here on my desk, but I was looking for
Oh,
something over here uh, in my museum of whiskey relics and bottles, and I found uh, my old tobacco pouch, so I could actually smoke my pipes again.
oh,
But I bet that tobacco is all dried out and gross.
it just makes me think of a song.
Assault?
A song.
Oh, a song. Okay. Well, finding my old tobacco pouch.
It no, your cherry pipe and your tobacco pouch, all that. Just
Yeah, yeah. I could see that being an old, some kind of old
not old actually. Bruno Mars.
Bruno Mars.
Yes. Castle in the Sky.
No, I don't know that song. I don't.
Oh,
I'm
look.
sure I've heard it. I'm sure I've heard it. I'm sure because I've listened to a lot of him and others in
Uh,
playlists.
dude in that song says, I don't know why I'm smoking this cherry pie so much, but this is my life. And he's talking about
Huh.
the green.
Oh, well, this was actual tobacco.
It's a
This was.
song about drinking and smoking
I got
things.
you. Okay. That's 2 of my favorite hobbies.
Me too.
We're gonna have
Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone.
we're gonna have one of my cigar guys at the shop. Maybe I should get one of these dispensaries to come and do a thing at the shop.
That'd be fun.
I mean, maybe we'll see. I don't know.
That would be so much fun. You should do that.
They're kind of like hobbies that don't go. You know, I
They
don't know how
do.
much it overlaps. I'm sure it overlaps a lot, but I'm sure a lot of it still feels like a lot of the people that consume gummies regularly don't like to admit it.
I think they do. I think it's
Yeah,
coming in Texas, like in a big way. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Much
coming.
to
Give
Dan
it another
Patrick's
year or
chagrin.
two. I promise you. I think it's coming.
All right,
They
all
want
right.
the money.
Maybe well, but not Dan Patrick. He doesn't want the money.
Well, fuck that one.
I make him upset just by doing this. You're
Fuck that one. Probably specifically.
gonna have to carry the conversation for a second. I'm chewing.
I'm not good at that.
Tell us about your latest. What is your typical art piece?
My
Like,
typical
what is your art style? What is your medium?
my medium is acrylic
Mm-hmm.
or acrylic paint.
Hmm.
My typical art style is more abstract, but I paint with a brush too. I do uh, what would I call it? A fantasy realism kind of
Fantasy realism. That's an interesting description. And having seen your stuff, fantasy realism. I'd go with that.
The stuff that I do with a brush is fantasy realism.
Gotcha. Um, the typical size of your canvas, or do you have a typical size?
I don't have a typical.
Okay. Do
I like
pretty
to
much
mix it
anything.
up. I like to mix it up because I want to do things to fit different areas for people. I don't know.
Okay.
And I want to change the price tag for people too. Like, I want to be able to fit every budget.
That makes sense. Because if you're always doing a giant sofa-sized
Right,
piece of
which is
art,
why I make coasters. And you know what? People love the coasters.
yeah,
They love them.
like standard coaster-sized coasters,
Yeah, 4 inch by 4 inch.
dig it.
They
And people
love them.
people snatch those up, huh?
They do.
Well, cool. Can they get your art through an Etsy site or through a Square a web page or
I
something
used
like
to
that?
have it. Okay, so I used to have Etsy, and I left Etsy.
Yeah.
They're really not a great site. So I'm kind of in the in between right now, where I'm figuring out where I need to go with where I need to put my online store. But I do know that I need to do that,
All right. So
and
the answer
that's
to the
like in the
question is
works.
no.
It's in the works.
They can't get your stuff unless they come to you
It's in the
directly
works.
for one of your art
But
shows.
yes, Twisted Art Lady can be found on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. And I actually have a phone number coming soon for Twisted Art Lady dedicated.
Oh, dope as hell. We'll get you on as a if I ever do another one of these, we'll get you on as a proper guest, and we'll do
Yeah,
a
let me
virtual
get some
art show.
stuff. Like, let me hit some checklists on my
Yeah,
list. You know what I mean? And then
yeah,
we'll
you got to
go
do
for
some
it.
stuff. And I didn't realize you'd never done an art show or shown your art in a
Right.
booth before.
I've wanted to do it for so many years. You just don't know. Like,
That's
that
so
was such a good
cool.
day. And
That
I
is so
didn't
cool.
sell
I'm excited
anything.
for
I
you.
showed up late and I left early. My son had an engagement that I had to do. You know, I
Good.
just wanted to show up and I wanted to shake some hands and
Yeah,
be
I found
present.
even for my stuff, I found that farmers markets are fantastic ways to set up a booth and do a thing.
Let me tell you
Um,
something. I didn't sell anything, but I got to sit in that chair.
yeah,
And I
and
got to listen
it's a
to
great way to
all
show
the
your stuff off.
whispers. And everyone was like, how'd you do that? What is this? What is your medium? Like, they
Mhm.
had so many questions for me. And I was blown away by the interest.
I am so happy for you and excited about that. That's like legitimately cool that you've never done it before and you finally did it and you had a fantastic experience doing it. Uh,
Yes. And
that's
here
dope as
where I
hell.
live, we have Pioneer Days coming up in
Yeah.
October, early October. And someone approached me at that event that I was at and gave me someone's phone number and said, you need to call this guy because vendor booths for that event is $150. I don't have $150. So this guy is the owner of a new restaurant in downtown where the Pioneer Days is going to be, and they're wanting specifically art for their sidewalk.
That's
And
cool.
they're willing to give a booth to an artist that is established for $10 to $15.
Those are good people to
So
know and good things
I
to do.
will probably make some sales that day,
Yeah. See,
that weekend.
I don't like to do festivals and shows that where I've got to pay more than $300 for a table. Um, uh, but if I can find one for free, I mean, damn,
Or
those are the
practically
best
free.
ones. Yeah, for $10, $50. We did Taste of the Town here in Humble, Texas, home of the old Humble Distilling Company. We did the Taste of the Town, and those those tables are like $75. I'm absolutely gonna jump in on that deal. That's a great damn deal.
Yeah.
We're doing the Good Oil Days, the signature festival here in Humble. For those of you who don't know, old Humble, Texas was a oil town, home of Humble Oil and Refining Company that eventually became ExxonMobil. That's your trivia for the day. Thank you very much. Have a great afternoon. Our signature festival is the old Good Oil Days. We usually do it in the spring, but this one had to be moved because of a threat of a storm that never actually happened. But they invited me to come and be part of their whiskey and wine walk and showcase my stuff. And the table was $0. And like, you don't even have to ask. Just send me an email and tell me the day. And if I got people, I'll be there. That's a no brainer. So yeah, take advantage of your little pioneer days. If a restaurant wants you to slow people down and draw interest, and they're willing to give you or practically give you the booth, shit, yeah, girl, take it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm ready to jump. I need to call them.
Do you want to call them now? Do it live. We'll
No,
listen.
we can't call them at 12:37 in the morning.
It's just a business. Just leave a message at the business, right?
That's probably not the best foot forward.
Right. You gotta call them. Call them around 9:00. I think that's a good time. 9:00. It's after everybody's gotten to the office. Assuming this is they're the office folks at the restaurant. 9:00 is usually after when they get to the office, but before anything major starts to stack up. You get there 7:30, 8:00. Get the coffee. See if there's donuts. Go downstairs, grab a donut at the deli shop, whatever. Come back up. 8:30-ish, 8:45. You crack into your second cup of coffee. You go over and talk to your buddies at the other cubes. Go back, sit down, double check the emails, make sure nothing new has come in. And now it's 9:00. And the phone rings and it's you. And you've got stuff to tell them. Right?
Right.
That's how it works. So 9:00. Between 9 and 9:15. That's when the best phone calling happens.
Right. Maybe a little bit later for this place.
Well, yeah. I guess if it's a restaurant, if they're not leaving at 6,
it's a pizza place though, so they don't have breakfast. Maybe like 11.
So being boss guys, maybe they leave at 10. So give them a call at 11, maybe 11 a.m. Because they get in. That's when they start to settle in, and they're going to have lunch in a couple hours, so they're not going to do anything heavy duty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Light work before lunch, and then after lunch, it's when they start doing all the restaurant stuff. That sounds about right. I don't think when I worked at the bank, I don't think I got any meaningful work done on any given day before 10. Like meaningful work, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because those first couple hours, all you're doing is deciding what emails you're going to answer, if that email has to be answered right away, or if you can push it off till later. Then kind of coffee and bagels until you're ready to settle in and work. I don't think I really liked working at the bank.
I bet.
The first couple hours of my day was spent goofing off. I probably just didn't like working there. It was a good job though. It was fun work.
Anyway. I'm sure it was a good job, but I can't imagine it being engaging.
The kind of work I was doing was fun work. I didn't like the paperwork side of it. Because there's always there's your job that you have to do, the work you have to do, and then your real job. And the work that I did was manage all these trust accounts. But the real job, quote unquote, was compliance. Making sure you had the paperwork filled out that said you did what you did and that it was connected to the policy or procedure in your handbook. And then you had to have everything in triplicate. And that was the compliance part of what we did. Because what we did was manage risk and comply with policy. Those were, that was the real job. And that was the frustrating job. Yeah. But I don't do that anymore. I have different compliance tasks and federal guidelines and state guidelines to cover.
I can imagine extremely different.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's one highly regulated industry to another highly regulated industry. It's just a different set of paperwork and stuff. But yeah, that's how it is. We make whiskey now. I don't make paper and check marks and data that has to be moved from one folder to another.
Right.
But anyway, Sam, I think we just passed the 2-hour mark. I think it's a good time to shut it down.
All right.
Is there anything you want to plug? You got a book, you got art, you got a festival. Well, when's your Pioneer Days festival?
Early October.
So for anybody in the, I'm going to say Dallas Metroplex area.
No, I'm in Whitney, Texas.
All right, that's a little further south than Dallas Metroplex area.
Right? It is a little bit, yeah.
Whitney's near Beaumont? No, that's Winnie. Where's Whitney?
Whitney is Hill County.
Okay. So there you go. If you're in Hill County, Texas, in October, what was it, 7th?
Somewhere around there. It's
so that first weekend of October. Right?
I don't remember.
Yeah, because the 1st of October, I think, is maybe a Tuesday. So I guess it's sometime in the second week of October. Whatever. Nobody's going to be fucking anywhere near it. Whatever. If you're in Hill County, Texas, go to the Pioneer Days Festival. Because if you're in Hill County, Texas, you probably know already when the Pioneer Festival is.
Right.
If you're not in Hill County, Texas, you're probably nowhere near Hill County, Texas. He said to the scores of people watching and twos of people who will watch this in the afterplay. So, I never really actually addressed any of the big questions to you.
What was that?
What do you know about whiskey tasting notes? Have you ever read any of those? Did they ever have any effect on you?
Whiskey tasting notes?
Yeah, like tasting notes for anything, really.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah? Did they ever make sense to you?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So there we go. All right. I don't know how to end this. Like, how do we, the stage of where we're at, like when I'm doing my own show, I know how to end that when I'm by myself. When I have a co-pilot, over here to my left, is it my left? That's my left arm. Yeah, you're on my left.
Right now.
I never really knew how to do this with Lisa. I never really knew how to do it with a co-pilot. How do you end the show with somebody else?
Y'all have a great night. Thank you for coming by and hitting like and commenting and all the things.
All right. I think I could do that. All right. Let's try it. All right. So it was thank y'all for watching. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, the YouTube things. Right? So far, so good? Yeah. Okay. I'll be back in a couple of weeks with episode 251. Do you believe I've done 250 of these?
Wow.
It's insane.
I did a bunch too.
Yeah.
Maybe not that many.
Yeah, I've been doing this since March of 2020.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll be back another week. We'll do some stuff. We'll talk about some things. We'll drink some whiskey. Sam, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Where's the button to end the stream? There it is. All right, I'm going to hit that button now. Good night, everybody.